Rather large, welcome back to Cossy Podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. We're going to be diving into the latest around Arsenal. Kai Havertz has started his training at Arsenal. Today has been his first day at Arsenal in training, and we're going to be looking at some of the pictures and some of the moments with some Arsenal players together with Kai Havertz. In this video as well, we're going to be setting our expectations for Kai Havertz. He replaces one of the longest serving players at Arsenal in Granit Xhaka. So the big question for you in the comment box below is, what are your expectations for Kai Havertz? Do you want him to win the EPL, the UCL, or do you just simply look at him as an upgrade on Granit Xhaka? Full stop. In my opinion, he's really talented. He's such a good player, and we should be seeing the best of him right starting next season at Arsenal. Hit the like button, subscribe to the podcast as well. Let's get to see some of the moments and pictures of Kai Havertz arriving at Arsenal and his first training as well. So the Arsenal website and Arsenal Twitter handle as well have taken to their sites, and they have just given us a sneak peek of what happened with Kai Havertz and his first training session. He didn't play the behind closed doors game that we played against Watford today, but you can see that he was in training today there at the London Colony. That is him putting on shirt number 29 in that black and green kit. Just looks marvelous. I wish our away kit was as good as this, but sadly it is not. That is another picture of him in that Arsenal tunnel. It just looks, nice as well. And that is him linking up with the man himself, Jorginho, former Chelsea player, and of course they were teammates at Chelsea, and they are teammates at Arsenal as well. Now Kai has also taken to his social media handle on Twitter, and he has posted a few pictures of himself in that training kit. I've got to be honest, this kit really looks nice, okay? So that is Kai Havertz in the Emirates Stadium. That is Kai Havertz with William Saliba. Saliba should be coming back very soon, according to the information I have. I will do a video about Saliba's fitness. Do not worry about that. But that is him arriving there and smiling for the pictures. And of course, Kai Havertz there as well in the Arsenal stand. So Kai Havertz is officially started training today at Arsenal Football Club. But the big question is, what do we expect of Kai Havertz, and what are my expectations? What are your expectations for Kai Havertz as a player who comes in at a very big fee, £65 million, despite the fact that Arsenal hold the record of the most expensive English player or English signing? Still £65 million for a club like Arsenal. That has always been big money. Like, we are very stingy with our money. We are very cautious when it comes to spending, and we are very cautious when it comes to splashing the cash. So what are my expectations of Kai as an expensive signing? For me, number one, it's going to be goals. It's going to be goals for Kai Havertz, and that's what I expect from him. Because listen, Granit Xhaka has played in that position for quite some time in a double pivot. He's been the box to box over the years, and in last season he was that left number 8 on the goal scoring side of our midfield. So he was the guy that was supposed to be getting in the penalty area more and scoring the goals. And I think it really had a pretty averagely good season, Granit Xhaka, scoring 7 and assisting 7. You could see the chances he was getting. You could see the amount of chances he was getting, but also the nature of chances he was getting. The very good example that I always talk about is the Wolverhampton Wanderers game. Now, against Wolverhampton Wanderers in the last game, Granit Xhaka got into 3 good goal scoring opportunities and positions, and he took 2 of the opportunities. Now, I think Kai Havertz is a much better player when it comes to stealing himself and getting into those spaces. He's a much better player when it comes to finishing. He's a much better player when it comes to game reading. He's a much better player when it comes to producing goals and assists. So the first thing I'll ask of him is going to be goals and assists, because we've had Xhaka in that position, and he's not been a world-class number 8. He's not been a world-class number 10. Even last season when he played in that pocket of, you can be as a 10, you can also be as an 8. I don't think Xhaka gave us the maximum requirements of that role. Just to put that into perspective, we are talking about a position where Christian Eriksen absolutely obliterated the levels at Tottenham Hotspur. We are talking about a position where players like Toni Kroos have been massively very good over the years. And we're talking about a position where players like Yuri Tillemans have also been absolutely immense for clubs like Leicester City in the past year. So I think it is only right for us to acknowledge the good work that Xhaka has put in, especially in that role. I think with Kai Havertz, it's going to have to be better. I don't think Kai Havertz comes in to occupy that role just for the sake of occupying. I think he comes in to give us a much better upgrade. Like, he scores a lot of goals. He scored 17 goals in his last campaign at Bayer Leverkusen, and he scored 12 goals in the campaign before that at Bayer Leverkusen. To put that into perspective, Granit Xhaka has scored 7 goals last campaign, and that was his best season. So, if you are promising us 17 goals and maybe 10 assists per season, that is much better than what Xhaka has been offering. That is much better than what Granit Xhaka has been able to offer. So if we can add goals in that position, we all know that Mikel Arteta prefers creativity on the right, goal scoring on the left. So if Martinelli can continue scoring the likes of 20 goals, Gabriel Jesus can also score 20, Kai Havertz scoring 20, and probably the likes of Declan Rice chipping in with a few goals here and there, we might see a very different Arsenal, and we might see more goals than the 88 we scored last campaign. So Kai Havertz, for me, you're coming in as an upgrade on Granit Xhaka. Xhaka's responsibility last season was to score the goals and create assists. He didn't create enough. He didn't score enough. And I think that is the first thing. Now, the problem with Kai Havertz, and it's one of the things that everyone needs to talk about, or everyone has been actually talking about, is his lack of clinical levels. He's one of the players that are massively underscoring their XG. Like last campaign, I think his XG was over around 15 or 14, and he scored like 8-9 goals. So he needs to be more clinical. He needs to get into those goal scoring positions better, and then take the chances as well. But I expect more goals. I expect more assists from Kai Havertz next season. The next one is a title, the Premier League title, and this one is going to be a heavy burden on the shoulders of a player like Kai Havertz. I don't think Kai Havertz really deserves the pressure, but there is nothing to do. He comes into an Arsenal side that is very young. He comes into an Arsenal side that is literally the youngest side in the Premier League, but we have done it all. We've gone to the UCL. We have scored 88 goals. We've never done that in the Premier League. And we have pushed Manchester City. No one has done that last campaign apart from Arsenal. So when we sign Rice, Havertz, and Timber, and all these other players, the mission is one. Can you win the Premier League? Now, I've set a longer period of time for Kai Havertz as compared to Declan Rice, given the amount of money and given the circumstances under which we signed him. I don't think we signed Kai Havertz under the bracket of he's such a good player who is actually breaking it up at Chelsea. We've actually signed him under the guise that he will actually become much better, okay? And Mikel Arteta has asked Edu and the transfer board to actually trust him because he thinks Kai Havertz is going to get much better and better and better. I might not disagree. I might not go, he won't work. But the only way to find out whether it will work or not, if he can win us an EPL at least in the next 5 years. Like, that is even a very long time. But I still think he raises the level. I still think if we get some more 2-3 good signings in very crucial positions, we will land the title. So Kai Havertz, the onus must be on him to try and make sure that Arsenal win the title. The next one is the UCL. This one is going to be on each and every person at Arsenal. We've not won the UCL in our existence. Like, we have lived and right from 1886, we've not won the UCL. Like, it's embarrassing that Nottingham Forest have it. It's embarrassing that Aston Villa have it. It's embarrassing that we do not have it. Like, it's purely embarrassing that Arsenal do not have it. So, for me, I expect Kai Havertz still to be part of that squad, to be part of that team that is going to win the UCL for Arsenal in the next decade. That is, from 2023 to 2028, we should have a UCL in there. And I've already said that, you know, in my opinion, it will be much easier for this group of players to go on and win the UCL as compared to the group of players Arsene Wenger had. One, I think we have more talent. Two, I think we have a lot of quality. Three, I think the manager gets whatever he wants. And four, I think we have a very, very ambitious manager. I'm sorry, I think Mikel Arteta is as more ambitious than Arsene Wenger. Of course, Arsene Wenger deserves all the credit in the world with, you know, building the Emirates Stadium, winning Arsenal the unbeaten run, 3 Premier League titles, a couple of FA Cups, I mean 7 or what. It's nice. It's absolutely nice. But I think Mikel Arteta is hungrier. I think Mikel Arteta is more ambitious. And I think Mikel Arteta has a better vision when it comes to winning than Arsene Wenger. And I don't even think, if you give Arsene Wenger the money that we have given Mikel Arteta, he will do the same job. I think he's a kind of guy that is used to sporting talent and recruiting very, very young players. I think Mikel is a mixture of that. He can go and get your Martin Odegaard, polish him, but he has shown that he will go and get a Declan Rice at 100 million. So this group of players, including Kai, we must get the UCL. No whatabouts, no what ifs. It's only when. All right. And for me, in the next 5 years, at least we should have a UCL. Now, the one thing I expect from Kai Havertz before we get into everything else, and this is number 3, a new Kai Havertz who is consistent, deadly, and confident. This is one thing that Kai actually branded himself with in the German Bundesliga. It's one of the reasons that's why everyone branded him as one of the most exciting prospects in football between 2015 and that period when he signed for Chelsea, because he was absolutely deadly. Like, he was one of those, you know, cool finishers in the German Bundesliga that you could anticipate where he was going to be, when he was going to receive the ball, and how he was going to score, right? So I think that actually made him deadly. Like, you could know what he was going to do, but you couldn't stop him. Just like Arsenal last season in our first 20 games. You could know, you knew how we play, and you knew the most important aspects of our game, but you couldn't stop us. So for me, for Kai Havertz, the first thing I expect him to do, come at Arsenal, clean yourself. Like, he's got to become clean. He needs to be more consistent. Like, if you are a UCL final goal scorer who actually lifted the title for Chelsea, you cannot tell us then that you've played an FA Cup final against Leicester City. You've lost that. You've also played an FA Cup final against Liverpool. You didn't show up. You've also played an EFL Cup final against Liverpool, and you didn't show up. So for me, he needs to be more consistent. There is a player in there, isn't it? And he's a much, I think he's a player that you can easily go, he will become better than Odegaard. Because with Odegaard arriving at Arsenal, he was not a big creator by the time, and he wasn't a big goal scorer. But with Kai Havertz, we know big goal scorer, loves to run into the box, will cause problems with the opponent. But he's got to be more consistent. Like, he needs to go at least 3 seasons at the top, and everyone will go, oh, Arsenal have Kai Havertz. But if he cannot be consistent, right, it's going to affect his career at Arsenal. Players like Odegaard, why we talk about them very much, you know, like last season and this season before he even starts, is his consistency. He was absolutely consistent. Saka has been consistent for 3 years, and players like Gabriel Magalhaes, ever since arriving in Arsenal, has been absolutely consistent as well. So if Kai Havertz can be consistent, confident as well, I think the confidence levels come from the fact that he's been playing with a pool of unwanted parts at Chelsea, and it's no surprise that him leaving Chelsea has seen Mason Mount leave, Kalidou Koulibaly leave, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang leave, Hakim Ziyech leave, the new goalkeeper as well, Mendy leaving, and so many other players. So the confidence comes from the fact that he's been played out of possession, and he's also been played in a system that actually doesn't work. He doesn't receive chances. He can't create chances. He literally has nothing to be proud of. Now at Arsenal, that is actually going to change. At Arsenal, I expect him to be more confident. I expect him to play with players that are really talented. And he's going to play in a system that is well organized. That will make him confident, and that should make him deadly as well. Lastly, entertaining and exciting football. Now, this Arsenal side is quite talented. We have so many talents, like very many talented players in the side. Gabriel Jesus can beat a man. Odegaard can beat a man. Saka can beat a man. Martinelli can beat a man. Saliba can beat a man. Alexander Zinchenko can beat a man. Like, and Timber as well can beat a man as well. So the team is really talented. All right. I don't think we're going to have a Ronaldinho in the team. I don't think we will have a Messi in the team. I don't think that's going to happen. But I think Kai Havertz has the ability, on top of giving you that, good performance, he can also entertain us. He can also play exciting football, especially those combinations, passing combinations with Odegaard, Martinelli, Trossard, Jesus. I'm feeling vibes of Cazorla, Ramsey, Rosicky, Wilshere. If you're feeling those vibes, hit the like button and share with me in the comment box below. If you feel this guy is a waste of time and waste of money, share with me in the comment box below as well.